people, today we are going to be talking about this book, the second in the duology that began with Into the Crooked Place, and as you can see, this one is The City of Spells by, as I say, Alexandra Christo. If you are afraid that you are not going to be able to remember what happened in the first book, fear not, because she has included this little summary at the beginning that's going to put you into situation. And also we are going to have, in the first chapters, we are going to have the characters situating themselves into this moment now in the story, and thinking about the things that happened in the first book to put them into where they are now. So this is going to be a multiple point of view kind of book, and at the beginning of each chapter we're going to have this thingy here. Yeah, that's so sweet. This thingy here that's going to tell us which character we are going to be following. And if you remember, at the end of the first book, we had the bad guy who had adopted Wesley and brought him back to his place. He's going to try to convince him to unite forces with him. And that had left Tabia with Saxony and Karam to escape to the woods. That's Saxony's home, where she's going to try to convince her own people to unite and help Wesley escape and to save the city. But it's not going to be so easy, because the relationships between the characters have been tested and in some cases broken by the things that happened in the first book. So we are going to have Tabia, who were best friends with Saxony. They are going to be like hating each other in this one, and because lots of things happened in the first book, and their friendship, as I say, got tested, and it's not exactly broken, but it's not exactly as it was either. So we're going to have Karam. She is the protector of Saxony. She's going to try to, to be a buffer between the two girls and the two women, and she's going to try, to have them not to kill each other, and, maybe, hopefully, have some common ground in which they can begin talking and fixing things if they want to do so. One of the things that is going to be, weighing them down is the fact that Tabia wants to rescue Wesley, while Saxony wants to remain with her people and try to, to convince them to go and save the world. So this book is going to be very battle-centered, in the way that's going to be our gang of misfits trying to amass different forces of grafters and buskers in order to demote, kill, remove, wherever you want, the kingship. And I love that this story is going to be very real. It's not going to be a snap of the fingers. It's not going, calling someone and say, hey, I need help. Okay, I will do it. It's going to be more like negotiations, dealings with people who won't want to help, and people who will help asking something in return. And also it's going to be a book that's going to test everyone's strengths and, loyalties. We're going to have Saxony, for instance. She's going to have to convince her people, but her people doesn't want to help. And everyone sees Saxony as this person who has this lot of power, this lot of magical abilities, and they are trying to say, hey, you don't need to convince anyone. You are able on your own to, to be the leader that you need. So she's going to be undergoing this amazing journey from where she is now to where she can be. Also, I love Tabia. Tabia, it's going to change a lot now that Wesley has been taken from her side. She's going to try to fit the shoes that Wesley left as underboss, and she's going to try to lead the buskers and, to amaze an army to help, get Wesley back and recover their city, Croatia. And I love how she's going to be growing so secure of herself and how far she's going to go. I love all the girls on this book, and also I love Wesley. I love how real they are. And my favorite part of this book, the story is amazing. The world building gets even bigger in this one, because we get to see the woods and where Saxony's people live and how they interact with each other and all of that. But for me, the main forte of this book was the characters and how real they are and how much they overcome or not, depending on the character, and and how they change and fit the story. It's amazing. For instance, Karam, who who was and is the protector of Saxony. She's going to come into her own, and she's going to, you know, when she decides that everything is as it should be, she's going to go into her own adventure because she has something that she has to do. And I love that despite being in love with Saxony, and they both have these relationships, both of them know that they own something to themselves and also to the people that rely on them. And I love that they are able to love each other and also to maintain their own places and, you know, to do their own thing. They can work together and they can, you know, do things on their own, which I think is amazing, and I love the relationship they have. Also, Tabia and Wesley, it's an amazing relationship. It's this slow burn that began in the first book. They have been friends since they were kids and they have run together, and I love that it's a very real relationship in the fact that they love each other and they hate each other and they irritate each other and they protect each other. And I think that's her real life is. You love someone, but sometimes you hate them and you want to kill them, but then you want to hug them and protect them from the world. And it's true, we are not perfect. And I love that we have this idea here that you have a person that you love, not because that person is perfect, but because you know how to live with them not being perfect, and also how they accept you being who you are, imperfections and all. And I love this relationship. I love how far the characters go from the first book and how amazing the journey they do is, how amazing the journey they make in this second book is. Also, I love that we have this book about strong women, you know, fighting for the things they believe in. And I love that they have the help of people like Wesley and other guys, but I love that they know how to stand on their own, and they are amazing leaders, and they can, you know, they work with the help of the guys, but it's not, the guys don't come and say, hey, sit down, I will do it. It's like, okay, it's more like, I'm going to help, you know, what do you need, or something like that. Wesley is very like, I'm perfect, I will do everything, but you love Wesley, you know, because you see behind the facade, because Wesley is always projecting this idea of I am the best, I am untouchable, I am the king, but you know that he's projecting this facade, but he's hiding his own vulnerabilities and his own fears. And I love how Tabia can see behind the mask that he wears. And yeah, all the characters in this book, in these two books, are amazing. And I love, as I say, the journey they make of self-worth or self-discovery. And I love that they come to be, you know, these amazing characters, and they come to be able to stand their own ground and, you know, do their things. I love the ending of the book is very satisfying. It's completely believable. And I love how Alexandra Christo has ended the duology. And I'm sad because I did love these characters, and yeah, well, I can reread the books and see them again, but you know what I mean. I cannot wait to see what she writes next, because she's amazing. She wrote the first book, To Kill a Kingdom, and this duology, and she truly, she's amazing. So thank you for watching. Bye!